So Aditya, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, thanks for giving the opportunity to have the interview for me. Myself, Aditya, I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I have completed my BTech in the year 2022 from mechanical stream. So after it, I just opted for software testing course where I have learned manual testing, core Java, Selenium, and SQL. And later, I'm searching for the jobs in QA department. That's all about it. Thank you.
Okay, okay. So, in Selenium, what all things you have learned about?
Like Selenium. I know about Selenium WebDriver concepts, like what are all the methods that we have in Selenium WebDriver architecture, and along with I know something about TestNG framework.
Hmm.
I got some idea about page object model, and that's all about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I
So,
have basic knowledge on Selenium.
yeah, basic knowledge on.
Selenium.
Say, okay, fine.
WebDriver.
So, can you tell me which are the different types of exceptions you might get in Selenium? So, you would have done real-time automation, right, in Selenium. So, which
Yes.
are the different types of exceptions you can expect in Selenium?
So we can get element not found exception
Hmm.
and no such element exception,
Right, right. Then,
element not clickable exception,
hmm.
and
Any other
sorry, sorry,
exceptions? Okay, no worries. So you can get
session
any
not created exception,
absolutely, yeah. Session
session
not,
not created exception,
yeah. Session not found exception, then timeout exception, then no
timeout
such window
exceptions.
exception, no such alert exception, element not visible, as you mentioned it correctly, element not selectable exception, stale element reference exception, then
Yes, yeah.
session not found, element not visible, element not interactable exception, right? So those are the different exceptions that you can get in Selenium. Now let's say you
Yes.
got stale element reference exception. So how will you handle it?
So by using page object model, we can able to handle it. So,
Oh, so let's see what is the root cause of happening of this exception happening in your script, right? So what do you mean by stale
yes.
element reference exception?
So whenever the page gets refreshes, the
Mhm.
old address is of the element is going to be replaced with new address.
Hmm.
So whenever we try to fetch that web element using old address, then we can
Hmm.
get still element exception.
Okay, so stale element reference exception will occur when the element that was referenced by the locator is no longer present in the DOM, right? So it is an exception that will occur. So the solution is you can refresh the page before trying to access that element, or you can use try catch block to handle the exception, right? To ensure that the exception no longer is there. Okay, now tell me, when do you get timeout exception?
Whenever the browser is not not that much speed, that means
Hmm.
whenever the synchronization problem occurs, then we can get timeout exception.
Mm-hmm. Okay, synchronization issues.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so you can explain timeout exception occurs when a script or you can say the command takes longer than the wait time, right?
yes,
So due to environment conditions, or you can say low internet speed, or web application is taking more time than usual to load, right? The element to be interacted is does not load, right? So if you have to perform some
yes,
click on that element, but it is not loaded fully, then you will get this exception, right? So WebDriver will continue to try to find that element. You have kept some
yes,
particular time limit, but that element is not yet present. So timeout exception will happen, right? So now how
yes,
can you avoid this? So what is the solution? Solution is you can add explicit wait using a
yes, yes, we
JavaScript
can add.
executor, right?
Yes,
You can check the expected load time of the web element. Maybe sometimes it is let's say sometimes it is 40 seconds, sometimes it says 45 seconds. Then accordingly, you can add the weight accordingly, right?
Yes.
Those things you can do. Okay, great. Now, which are the different locators in Selenium?
So we have ID locator, name
Hmm.
locator, and we have link text, and we have partial link text.
Hmm.
Then we have class name,
Hmm.
tag name, CSS locator, and at last we have xpath.
XPath,
So these are
CSS selector, right? All these are different types of locators that you will have in Selenium WebDriver.
yes.
Okay. Which are the types of XPath that you are aware of?
We have absolute and relative experts. I
Mm-hmm.
know about absolute and relative experts.
Right, right. So which XPath is more reliable?
I think relative experts.
Relative
Relative
XPath?
experts.
Mm-hmm. Are you sure?
Yes, sir. It's relative experts.
Correct, correct. So that is the correct answer. Relative XPath is more reliable compared to absolute XPath.
Absolute experts.
Hmm. Okay, fine. Now let us go to the next question. Okay. How will you do parameterization in TestNG? You are aware about
So
TestNG, right?
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, great. So how will you do parameterization in TestNG?
Just a minute, sir.
Hmm.
So we use parameterization in a
Hmm.
data-driven testing process. Like we will provide,
Hmm.
we can
Right. So we'll,
provide
yeah, please
we
go
can
ahead.
provide
Please go
multiple inputs to the test
ahead.
cases the test scripts which are run through our Selenium code.
Hmm. Okay. What else?
That's all I know about it.
Mm-hmm. So see, parameterization is achievable in TestNG, right?
Yes, sir.
You can use parameters annotation and the
Yes,
TestNG XML file itself, right? And you can pass the parameters. You can also use
yes,
data provider as an annotation,
yes, sir. Yeah.
right? So those are the different mechanisms. Those are the two ways which can help you to achieve parameterization in the TestNG. Okay, what are the different types of reports those are generated in TestNG?
So we can get extend reports by
Hmm.
adding some dependencies in the XML file. Those are called as extend reports.
Hmm.
And defaultly, TestNG provides a default report.
Hmm.
So these are the two reports that I knowledge about it, that I have knowledge on it.
Hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. Fine. So now, let me give you screen sharing rights. You need to open flipkart.com. Right? So can you please open flipkart.com and share your screen?
Sure, sir, sure. Yes, sir.
Hmm. Now you need to find the locator for mobiles option.
Yeah.
Hmm. Can you bring this window to the below
Yeah,
instead?
sure, sir.
Yeah.
showing my node.
Yeah. So mobiles option that
Yes,
you
sir.
have to take. Yeah. So can you help me with the locator? Let's say I'm a junior person who is reporting to you. I'm facing some issue in finding the locator for this particular element. Now I'm coming to you and I'm requesting you to help me with this locator.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, can please.
So you are taking class. Any specific
Yes.
reason why you are going for class here?
Since it has the only one attribute here, so I was just going with this class.
Hmm.
Since I don't find any text here or ID here, so I thought I should go with this class.
So you are trying to click on that image, looks like.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hmm.
So what? Since I couldn't able to find the exact expert, so just what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna
Hmm.
capture the parent of that particular block. Then through
Hmm.
that I'll capture the child block so that
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
might get the exact location of this mobiles. So it's showing my sorry sir, I was unable to write from the expert.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay, no worries. Let me see if I can help you out here.
Sure, sir. Shall I stop my sharing, sir?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can stop sharing your screen. I'll share my screen. I'll help you out here. See, uh, yeah, is my screen visible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right? See, whenever you get such kind of questions in an interview, right? See,
Yes,
you can also take this as a text. You can, if you're not getting something here, because this is an image, right? As such,
yes,
also in Selenium, you won't have directly way to click on image. Yes, SQL is available, but still you can click on this and still you would be able to navigate to some particular proper, list of mobiles. So you can
yes, sir. Yeah.
find XPath for this particular. So by mistake, it got clicked. Let me again go to that. Right. So it is coming span, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
you can write slash span. So we'll be going for relative XPath, right?
Yes,
Slash span. And then you can write @ text equal to mobiles itself, right? So that will be a relative XPath. Now, can you share your screen once again? I'm giving
Yes.
you the XPath. So this XPath, which I just told you, right? Let us
Yes.
see
Yeah.
that if you are getting that XPath, right? I mean, the proper locator, proper element by using that. Yeah, so I have shared that in the chat.
Yes.
Hmm. Right?
Yes, sir. It is
You are
highlighting this.
getting one of one, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So so you can try, clicking one or two places, mouse hovering on one or two places to get the exact XPath,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
right? Okay, fine.
Yes.
Now, mm, let me give you one more question on XPath. Fine. So I'm trying to perform automation on this particular element. So these are the element details. Okay, let me share my screen. So I'm sharing my screen. So these are
Yes.
the element details on which I need to perform the click. You are able to see the screen, right? This is the HTML code
Yes.
of the element for which I have to perform the click. But find element by .xpath is not working for me here, right? So can you help me with the proper code here?
Yes, sir. I think we can go with the ID since it has
Right.
ID. So we can
Okay.
go with ID.
Okay, that is one of the option. Then what else?
Uh, since the data test is equals to product image product 3 is in key value bit, so it won't work.
Hmm.
So the only possible is with the ID locator here.
Okay, okay, fine. So what you can do is, so you can create this kind of code in IDE itself. See driver equal to new Chrome driver or Firefox driver, and driver dot get, and by dot xpath. You need to write here. See, what mistake I have done is I have put only single quote, right, instead of double quote. So I need to put double quote and then only it will work, right?
Yes.
So that is one of the problem. That is one of the mistake I did, right? So that's why it was not working. Okay. What are priorities in TestNG?
If you want some test cases to be executed in the user's requirement, so if some user want to test
Hmm.
want to run the particular test cases, so we can prioritize it as per his own plans.
So see, prioritize in TestNG is nothing but it's a parameter, right?
Uh,
So you will declare the priority to a specific test method. So TestNG uses the method of alphabetical execution to execute its
yes, sir,
test
yeah,
method, right? So let's say,
alphabetical orders.
yeah. So the priority can be set as an integer value as well. It can be set as an alphabetical value as well, right? Whichever, uh, based on your requirement. The
Yes,
lower the integer value is, the higher would be the priority.
priority, yes,
Okay, so this is one of the question. They can also ask you, let's say if you have two test cases with in TestNG, one test case is having priority equal to 4, one test case is having priority equal to 2, then which one will get executed first? Then you will tell, yes, priority equal to 2 will get executed
to people get
first, right? So that is nothing but TestNG priority. Okay,
priority.
now what is the importance of groups in TestNG?
So groups will basically divide the particular group of test cases from others. Like for example, in test suite, we may consist of different kind of test cases. Like we can have sanity test cases, we can have
Hmm.
regression, So to differentiate these things, we use grouping techniques.
Right. Okay. Now, what do you mean by assertions?
So assertions are used to verify the actual value with the expected values. To
Hmm.
verify to use assertions. I think we have two assertions:
Hmm.
hard assertion and soft assertions.
Okay. Then which assertion is useful to be, whenever you use scripts, you have scripts. So which are the assertions that you will mostly use, hard assertions or soft assertions?
I will use hard assertions, sir,
Are you
because
sure?
once, yes sir, I will use hard assertions, sir.
Hmm. Okay. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. Which type of assertion you are using most in your automation scripts, hard assertions or soft assertions? Okay. Now, what are the different types of hard assertions?
We can have we can check if the output is true. Like we can have assert dot true.
Hmm.
Can, if we want to check for a true condition. Similarly, if we are checking for the false condition, we can have
Hmm.
assert dot false. Uh,
So hard assertions, you will have assert equals, right? Then you will have assert not
yes,
equals. You will have assert true.
not
You will have
equals.
assert false. Then assert null, assert
Yes.
not null, right? Okay. Now
Okay.
tell me,
Yeah.
what is soft assertion?
So soft assertion whenever so to use soft assertion, first we need to create the instance of soft assertion.
Okay. But what actually is soft assertion?
So
Why do you need soft assertions?
so so if
Hmm.
we don't want to get delay the execution of the code means, then we can go with the soft assertions.
If
For
you want
example,
to
let us
delay
say
the execution of the code,
no, not delay, sir, not delay. I mean, if we just want to skip the exceptions in the while running the code, we can go with the soft assertions.
if you want to skip. Okay, the execution of the, yeah, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
execution.
So soft assertion is a type of assertion that do not throw an exception when an assertion fails and continues with the next step, right?
Next, yes.
After the assert statement. Okay, fine. So we are done with assertions. Okay, what do you know about Selenium grid?
So Selenium grid was replaced by Selenium WebDriver now. Earlier, the Selenium grid was started
Hmm.
in 2005, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So Selenium WebDriver is successor of Selenium grid.
Are you sure?
So I don't know that
Mhm.
much about it.
Okay, no worries. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. So just let's say if you have to explain Selenium Grid, then Selenium Grid will allow running tests in parallel on multiple machines, right? You can manage multiple browser versions, browser configuration centrally instead of in each particular individual test, right? So it will help you with the concurrent or you can say parallel testing also.
Okay.
So that is Selenium Grid. Okay, fine. Then this is limitations. Okay, now let's say if you have to perform double click on one of the element, then how will you perform it?
So first, we will capture that particular element locator by using
Hmm.
any of the locators. So then we have to create the instance for the action class. So in the through that object reference, we have a method called sorry, if I'm not wrong, what it is? Is it right? Is it right?
Right. Actions class you will use. Then what else you will use? If you have to perform double click on some particular element in a web page.
We can have a method called context method. So through that method we can do it.
Correct. Okay, Aditya, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
can you give any feedback on my
Feedback.
performance?
Right. So feedback is you will be given some exercises related to relative XPath. You will be asked in an interview question
Yeah.
to find the locator. So you can go with the relative XPath, but be very confident, be very sure about what locator you are finding, right? Then some
Sure.
questions related to data provider, you need to prepare. Parameterization, how it has to be done, that you need to prepare. Then uh, parameterization in TestNG, data provider. Yeah, then Selenium grid, right? Then
Yes.
what is the difference between implicit weight, explicit weight? And the first question, I think first or second question, the types of exceptions that you are
Yeah.
facing in
Exceptions.
Selenium.
Yes.
That is important. And how do you overcome them? That is also very important, right?
Yes.
So be prepared with these things. Rest all looks good, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Aditya. It was nice talking to you and wish you all the best for your future.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.